Colorado High School Activities Association Baseball is on 1010 KSIR and on the World Wide Web at KSIR.com. From Sterling High School, it's a Patriot League clash as the visiting Brush Bee Diggers take on the Sterling Tigers. Both teams have 6 wins on the year. Sterling 4-2 in the Patriot League. The Bee Diggers at 4-1. Going to start straight up here at 4 o'clock as Arnoldo Matos Garcia will step in against the hard-throwing right-hander Jacob Thiessen. And the pitch, and the fastball is low. Opening pitch brought to you by Buildings by Design, the experience to complete your project from start to finish. Get the quality you deserve in your building by starting your build project right. Start with Buildings by Design. The pitch swung on and foul back. Bee Digger starting lineup brought to you by Cargill Beef, committed to feeding the world in a responsible way by reducing environmental impact and improving products and processes. Learn about their story of commitment at Cargill.com. Zane Fowl hits second. Alec Peterson bats third. Swung on. That ball is driven in the air down the right field side. Ethan Rose gives chase, but it's out of play. Batting fourth is Kyle Rosenbrock. Mikey Gutierrez will hit fifth. Nico Guzman batting sixth. It's Brandon Walter, the DH, hitting seventh. B.J. Hirschfeld, the first baseman, bats eighth. And Grayson Simmons, the right fielder, hits ninth. Matos Garcia with a 1-2 count. And the offering swung on and line foul. Watch out into the B.
All right. 2 down, first and third for the Bee Diggers here in the top of the first inning. We lost you there. We'll try to retain our internet connection. And the pitch to Mikey Gutierrez swung on and popped up into foul territory and out of play. Count is sitting at 0-1. We'll recap the inning momentarily. As Kyle Rosenbrock on a 1-1 pitch fly to right. The stretch. And the offer to Gutierrez. And the curveball is low. 1 ball and 1 strike. 2 hits to begin the game for Brush by Matos Garcia and Zane Fowl. And then a couple of pop-ups, one by Peterson, one by Rosenbrock. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 down. The runners at the corners. And the offering swung on. That ball is laced in the air into left center field. Should be a play. And Boyer out there makes the catch. The inning is over. No runs, 2 hits. No errors and 2 men left. Let's head to the bottom of the first inning. Brush does not score. Sterling coming to bat on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Dusty Kahn will lead off for Sterling. The Bee Diggers did not score. Bee Diggers were held scoreless. As they will now bat here in the Sterling Tigers will in the bottom of the first inning. Against right-hander Kyle Rosenbrock. Rosenbrock threw an inning against Strasburg. And in that game, the Bee Diggers were up 5-0 after an inning and a half when Snow called the game. The fastball is in the dirt. 1 ball and no strikes. To Dusty Kahn, the right-handed hitter for Sterling. The Bee Diggers had a threat in the top of the first inning, did not score. The wide and offering. Fastball is a strike at the knees, and the count is level at 1-1. One ball, 1 strike. To Dusty Kahn. We're at the bottom of the first inning in Sterling. Here's the wind and pitch. Swung on, grounded right side. P.J. Hirschfeld has it on the second hop. He'll step on the bag, and there's 1 down. And that'll bring up Ethan Rose. Rosenbrock, who had his struggles against Valley, throwing strike here against the first hitter. Rose hitting from the right side as well. Now, keep in mind, you can follow us at KSIRsports.com. That's always a recipe here. The pitch. Fastball is down and away. Count is level at 1-1 And the pitch swung on, or a bunt down the third base side, rather. And it is foul. Levels the count at 1-1. 1-1. Here to Rose. The pitch. Fastball is right there. Belt high for a strike. On the inside half, it's 1-2. 1-2 to Ethan Rose. No score, bottom of the first inning in Sterling on Tiger Field. Too hard throwing right-handers. The pitch swung on, lined into right center field. That's a base hit headed for the gap. Nico Wilson gets chase to his left. That ball rolls all the way towards the fence. Rose around first, headed for second. He's going to stay right there for the one-out double for Ethan Rose. And here is Matthew Wheeler. So Matthew Wheeler will now bat. For the Sterling Tigers. The stretch and the pitch. Fastball is low. 1-0. 1-0. 1 out, 1 on. We're the bottom of the first inning in Sterling. The Bee Diggers had 2 on and nobody out, did not score. The stretch by Rosenbach as Peterson lays down the sign. And the pitch. And the breaking ball is down and away. It is 2-0 to Wheeler with Jacob Thiessen, the hard-throwing right-hander, on deck. The stretch and the pitch swung on, grounded left side, headed for left field. Santos Garcia dives, cannot get it. It's a base hit. First and third, that's what the Bee Diggers had with 2 down. And here comes Jacob Thiessen. The Bee Diggers defensively have Hirschfeld at first, Jaron Peterson at second, Mikey Gutierrez at third, Santos Garcia short and left. It is Grayson Simmons, Nico Guzman in center, Zane Fallon right, Peterson behind the plate. And on the mound, Kyle Rosenbrock. The stretch and the offering, and the breaking ball is a strike on the outer half of the knees. No balls and 1 strike. Here's the stretch and the pitch. Fastball inside, runner goes. It'll be a straight-up steal for Wheeler. No throw. And the count is level at 1-1. 1-1 strike, 1 out in the bottom of the first inning. Sterling threatening after the Bee Diggers did not score in the top of the first. And the breaking ball is a beauty. Just below belt level, it's 1-2. One ball and 2 strikes. And the pitch in the dirt, blocked beautifully by Peterson. Count levels at 2-2. Two balls and 2 strikes. Rosenbrock looks back, looks in, and the pitch swung on, fouled off to the right with a fastball down and in. Count remains at 2-2. To Jacob Thiessen. Peterson lays down the sign. Line, base hit into center field. That's going to score a run, at least one. Here comes Matthew Wheeler to the plate behind Ethan Rose, and it's a 2-run single for Jacob Thiessen. And Sterling leads 2-0 here in the bottom of the first inning. That'll bring up Anthony Jimenez. Thiessen is going to get a courtesy runner. Let's see who runs for him. That was a fastball right down the middle. Rosenbrock did not go perhaps for the pitch he wanted to there, at least the location. And the courtesy runner out there for Sterling. It's going to be Rocco Panchetta. The stretch. Jimenez awaits the pitch with one down in the bottom of the first. Here it is. Fastball is right there for a strike. Bell tie. Boy, all these delayed calls by this umpire. You're going to have to almost umpire from here. Anthony and Alex Jimenez, these next two hitters. 3-step lead at first. Rosenbrock gets the sign from Peterson. And the offering swung on and fouled back. That moves the count to 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes. To Jimenez. The stretch and pitch. Swing! And a miss and a breaking ball. It's a 3-pitch strikeout for Rosenbrock. There's 2 down. That'll bring up Alex Jimenez. The stretch. And the offering. Outside runner going. Perfect throw, the slide, the tag, and he's out by a mile at second base. Matos Garcia applies the tag on Panchetta, and we are done here in the first inning. Sterling scores 2 runs, getting a 2-run single from Jacob Thiessen. Let's head to the second. It's Sterling 2, Brush nothing on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Nico Guzman leads off for Brush. Swings and fouls it back at 0-1 against Jacob Thiessen. 2-0 Sterling. For the top half of the second inning. And the offering. Swung on and driven in the air to right field. Rose to his left, giving chase along the line. Still going in foul territory. Makes the catch, and there's 1 down. One down for Brandon Walter. Walter heading for the left side as the Bee Diggers will have 2 of their next 3 hitters from that left side. Thiessen wants to work quickly and mow down these Bee Diggers. He did give up 2 hits in the opening frame. Wind and pitch. Fastball is low. To Brandon Walter. And the offering. Right there for a strike. Took something off it. Threw the fastball at the knees. It's 1-1. Walter, the DH for Brush today. And that fastball is on the inside corner. It's 1-2. One ball and 2 strikes. And the pitch. Fastball outside. The left count levels at 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, the pitch. Breaking ball is down and away. 3-2. To Brandon Walter, the 7th place hitter. The base is empty. 1 down here in the second inning. 2-0 Sterling on Jacob Thiessen's 2-run single. Wind and pitch. Low, and he walked him. That'll bring up B.J. Hirschfeld with 1 on and 1 out in the second. Nice job of Walter working his way back. Hirschfeld steps in. The stretch and the pitch. Fastball is a strike on the outer half of the knees. No balls and 1 strike. The stretch by Thiessen. Short lead for Walter. And the offering. Fastball is upstairs. That levels the count at 1-1. Thiessen has thrown 27 pitches so far, 18 for strikes. He's always all over the strike zone. The stretch by the right-hander and the offering. Fastball up and away. Ackley Building Center, your one-stop center for flooring, paint, tools, appliances, and more. Ackley Building Center on Edison Street in Brush. Check that on 1402 Mill Street in Brush, excuse me. That is Ackley Building Center. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 on, 1 out. The stretch by Thiessen. And the offering. Fastball at the knees, down the middle. It's strike 2. 2-2 to B.J. Hirschfeld. The stretch and the pitch. Swung on, lined up the middle into center field beyond the diving second baseman for a base hit. Third hit for the Bee Diggers. And it's first and second with 1 down for Grayson Simmons. Simmons leads the team with 16 RBIs. And the pitch. And that's taken for a strike on the outer half belt high. It's 0-1. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Runners take their leads. And the offering. And the breaking ball is right there, down the middle. It's 0-2. The Bee Diggers, for the second time in as many innings, have 2 base runners. Now they got to take advantage. Thiessen with the 0-2 pitch home, and he steps off. With Walter at second and Hirschfeld at first. These are 2 top 10 teams. The Bee Diggers are at number 4, Sterling at number 6 in 3A, and they're both going with their aces this afternoon in Sterling. And the offering. Swing and a miss and a slow curve. And Simmons strikes out for out number 2. Here's Matos Garcia, who singled to begin the game for Brush, but was stranded at third. The stretch by Thiessen and the offering, and the curveball is right down the middle. That's a solid pitch for a strike. Now, we've seen a lot of high-scoring games so far this year. 21-10 loss to Valley, 22-10 victory over Valley, 14-5 over Yuma, 20-2 over Estes Park. This one, more than likely, will be a lower-scoring affair. No throw as Thiessen spins. And this is one of the top right-handers in Jacob Thiessen in 3A. No balls, 1 strike, 2 down, 2 on. 2-0 Sterling in the second. The pitch, breaking ball is grounded foul up the third base side. And that moves the count to 0-2. Temperature in the upper 50s here. With a slight wind as well. No balls, 2 strikes. Clover Dance lays down the sign. Matos Garcia waits the pitch. Here it is. And he swings and lines it foul down the right side. A late swing by the junior shortstop. It remains at 0-2. Good solid outfield too, with Boyer, Kahn, and Rose around left, center, and right. So you hit it out there. Got good arms, and they're going to make sure the Bee Diggers only take 1 base at a time. It stays at 0-2. To baby Matos Garcia. The stretch And the pitch. Breaking ball swung on, grounded to third. Routine three-hopper, low throw to first, and dug out on the one-hopper as Marcos Garcia retired. And the Beediggers are done here in the second inning. No runs, one hit, no errors, and 2 men left. To the bottom of the second we go. It's Sterling 2, Brush nothing on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. 6, 7, and 8 hitters, Alex Jimenez, Austin Burkholder. And Braden Cloverdance will hit for Sterling. Here in the bottom half of the second inning against Kyle Rosenbrock, 2-0 Tigers. Here's the stretch and pitch, and the fastball is right there for a strike at the knees. It's 0-1. No balls and 1 strike. A 2-run single by Jacob Thiessen. Got Sterling on the board. And the offering. Fastball is up and away. Levels the count at 1 ball and 1 strike, while the Rockies and Brewers coming up after this game. First pitch at 6:10. We'll pick up Rockies on deck in progress. And the offering. Swung on and grounded weakly on the right side. Second baseman Jared Peterson throws to first, and there's 1 down. One down for Austin Burkholder, who's also part of that very good Sterling Tiger basketball team. We've got a lot of 2-hour-plus games. I don't know if that's going to happen today. The 2 very solid right-handers on the hill. Rosenbrock winds and fires. Fastball, a strike on the outer half of the knees at 0-1. No balls and 1 strike to Burkholder, hitting with an open stance to the right side. And the pitch. Swing and a miss, and a ball in the dirt. He might have got a piece of it. It's 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes. Line and pitch. Fastball is upstairs. Moves the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes. One and 2 on Burkholder. 1 down. Here in the bottom half of the second inning, Sterling leads 2-0. Swung on, grounded foul down the third base side. It remains at 1 and 2. One ball, 2 strikes. The stretch and the pitch, or the wind, that is, down and away. Levels the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes to Burkholder. Rosenbrock working quickly. And the offering. Oh, that one didn't break at all. Count moves to 3-2 to Burkholder. Wind and pitch. Swing and a miss and a fastball above the letters. And there's 2 down in the bottom of the second inning as Burkholder fans. And here's the catcher, Braden Cloverdance. So we'll now hit for the Tigers. Wind and pitch, fastball. That's a strike on the outer half at the knees, and it's 0-1. Cloverdance, the 8th place hitter in the lineup. Sterling scored their runs on a 2-run single by Jacob Thiessen in the first inning. And the offering. That's right there. At the knees again on the outer half at 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes with 2 down and the bases empty in the bottom of the second inning, and Sterling leading 2-0 on their home field. And the pitch, swing and a miss, and Rosenbrock strikes out the side in the bottom of the second inning. Let's head to the third. It's Sterling 2 and Brush nothing on 1010 KSIR, KSIR.com. And Zane Fowl is the opening hitter for Brush. He takes a ball. 2-0 in favor of Sterling. Line and pitch. Fastball is low. It's 2-0. Again, you can follow us at KSIRsports.com. Best way to follow this game, the pitch. Swung on and lifted foul off to the right and out of play. Count moves to 2-1. On Zane Fowl. Wind and pitch. Fastball, a strike. At the knees, it's 2-2. Two balls, two strikes. And the offering. Swung on, grounded foul off to the right. Count remains at 2-2 to Fowl. And the pitch. Thiessen throws a breaking ball, swung on and popped to the right side. That'll be caught for the first out by the first baseman Peyton Cloverdance, and there's one down. That'll bring up Alec Peterson. Peterson popped to left in his first at bat. And that pitch is a strike. Another fastball in the outer half. It's 0-1. No balls, one strike. And the offering. Swung on, grounded foul off to the right side. No balls and two strikes. Oh and 2 to Peterson. Line and pitch. Called strike 3. Fastball outside corner. There's 2 down. Second strikeout for Thiessen. That'll bring up Kyle Rosenbrock, who popped to right. In his first at bat, the pitch in the dirt. And the count is at 1-0. One ball, no strikes to Kyle Rosenbrock. We're in the top half of the third inning in Sterling. Sterling leads 2-0. They've got their ace right-hander, Jacob Thiessen, on the hill. And so far, so good for the right-hander. Rosenbrock digs into the box to pitch, and he takes a breaking ball right there for a strike on the inner half. The count is level at 1-1. One ball, one strike. Swung on. That ball is driven in the air towards the shortstop behind the bag, and now to the left of the bag on the grass, and dropped the ball! Rosenbrock to second. Matthew Wheeler dropped the ball on a fly ball that was drifting to his left, but very playable, and the Beat Diggers reach on an error, and the inning is extended for Mikey Gutierrez. Gutierrez popped out in his first at bat. The pitch, and the breaking ball is upstairs. One ball and no strikes. The stretch by Thiessen. And the offering. Swung on, grounded down the third base side, foul. Yeah, levels at 1-1. One ball, one strike. Fredkin pitch. Fastball goes all the way to the screen as Globerdance chases it down. The third is going to be Rosenbrock. It's 2-1. First wild pitch by either side. Now it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Out of the windup and the offering. Fastball is right there at the knees. Count is level at 2-2. And Mikey Gutierrez. Out of the windup with a runner at third. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. We're in the third. Wind and offering in the dirt. 3-2. Three and two to the hitter, Mikey Gutierrez. Gutierrez likes to face these power pitchers. The pitch. Swing and a miss, though, and a fastball above the letters. Thiessen strikes out 2 in the inning. The B-Diggers strand 1. No runs, no hits, an error, and a man left. We head to the bottom of the third inning. It's 2-0 Sterling over Brush on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com.
1 ball, 1 strike as we begin the bottom of the third. Swing and a miss. The B-Diggers trailing 2-0. To the Sterling Tigers, 1-2. Low. Count is at 2-2. We'll update you here on what's been happening so far as the B-Diggers have threatened on a couple of occasions, unable to score. And the breaking ball is a called strike 3. And that's a strikeout for Kyle Rosenbrock. That's 4 consecutive hitters he struck out. And there is 1 down. A nice job of Rosenbrock getting the job done, keeping Brush in the game. And the pitch, and that is bunted foul down the third base side. And the count is at 0-1. So Ryan Boyer was the strikeout victim. And here's Dusty Kahn. And the offering. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball. Down in the zone, it's 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes. And the pitch swung on and fouled off to the right. Count remains at 0-2 to Kahn. We're in the bottom half of the third inning. Rosenbrock gets a sign from Peterson. And the offering. Curveball is outside. It's a good-looking pitch. Count is sitting at 1-2. Wind and pitch. Swung on and grounded foul down the third base side. Count remains at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Don't just buy any ice, buy AC Ice. You can find it at any local grocery or convenience store near you. That's AC Ice. Here's the wind by Rosenbrock and the pitch. Swing and a miss on an off-speed pitch by Rosenbrock, and that is 5 consecutive strikeouts Rosenbrock has generated. Man, he has been solid in this game. He's throwing like a number 1. And there's 2 down for Ethan Rose, who doubled in his first plate appearance. It's a 2-run single by Jacob Thiessen that has made the difference. The pitch, and that fastball is up and in. 1 ball and no strikes. That came back in the first inning. And Rosenbrock is pitching better and better as the game wears along. Fastball is down and away. Rosenbrock in the game. Well, he mowed these hitters down. And that pitch is inside. Now he's down in the count at 3-0. 3 balls and no strikes. Here's the wind and pitch. Fastball, a strike on the outer half. Yeah, Rosenbrock has struck out the last 5 Sterling Tigers that he's retired. Very impressive here. Here, the number 2 hitter, Ethan Rose. 3-1. Swung on line foul off to the right. He's thrown 48 pitches so far, 32 for strikes. It'll be a payoff pitch to Ethan Rose. And here it is. Swung on, grounded left side, foul. I tell you, Rosenbrock is certainly on his game. He pitches like this in the playoffs, and the Bee Diggers will have a fantastic chance, no question about it. It'll be another 3-2 to Ethan Rose. The offering, swing and a miss, and Rosenbrock has struck out the side 2 consecutive innings. It's a 1-2-3 as Sterling has done in the third. Let's head to the fourth in Sterling. It's Sterling 2, Brush nothing on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Let's head to the top of the fourth inning. Sterling in the lead, 2-0. Over Brush, Nico Guzman. Steps in against Jacob Thiessen. Swung on and popped up right at the plate. Cloberdance is under it, and he backs up and makes the catch, falling down into fair territory. That was an adventure for Cloberdance. But he makes the catch. There's one down, and Sterling has had their issues with these pop-ups. No runs on 3 hits for Brush, 2 runs on 3 hits for Sterling. They've committed the game's only error. Sterling has stranded none, and the Bee Diggers have stranded 5, so Brush has had their opportunities. Brandon Walter did walk in his lone plate appearance. The pitch, fastball, is a strike at the knees. No balls and 1 strike. Thiessen has thrown only 16 balls to go along with his 41 strikes. And the pitch in the dirt. Levels the count at 1-1. Yeah, fairly even game with the exception of that first inning. And the offering, swung on, grounded up the middle, and charging is Wheeler, and then he drops the ball, then picks it up, then he throws late. And Wheeler's committed his second error of the game. He has had his issues out there. First with a fly, then with a ground ball hit by Walter. So Walter on base for the second time. Here's B.J. Hirschfeld, who singled in his first at-bat. So the Bee Diggers trying to mount a threat as Thiessen steps off. Yeah, Brush has actually had more base runners, but nothing to show for it on the scoreboard. And they knew that the pitching was today. There's no question. The pitch swung on, grounded right side, and it's not going to be 2. The throw to second is off the glove of the shortstop, Wheeler. He dropped that one on a routine throw from Jimenez, and that's going to be another error on Wheeler. Wow. That's his third error of the game. That was right in his glove. And now it is first and second for Simmons, who struck out. And now Wheeler's got to be thinking about it at this point. Here's the stretch by Thiessen. And the offering. Swung on and grounded on 1 big hop to second. Jimenez to second for 1. Wheeler to first. That is 2. It's a 4-6-3 double play. And no damage done by the Bee Diggers in the top of the fourth inning. Let us head to the bottom of the fourth with the score. Sterling 2, Brush nothing on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. All right, let's head to the bottom of the fourth inning. And it's a 2-0 lead for Sterling. Matthew Wheeler will now hit the pitch against Rosenbrock. Swung on, grounded right side. First baseman Hirschfeld off his glove, picks it up, and then he races to the bag and beats Wheeler to the bag for the opening out. And there is one down. Heck of a ball game so far. We've had some bad baseball games so far this year, but not this time. This is a pitcher's duel. And here is Jacob Thiessen. He's responsible for the lone runs. And that pitch is a fastball for a strike at the knees. No balls and one strike. Here's the wind and offering. Breaking ball down and away. That levels the count at 1-1. Thiessen had a 2-run single. The first inning is accounted for the only runs, and Kyle Rosenbrock has been on a roll. The pitch swung on, grounded weakly down the third base side foul, and he's definitely in a groove. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Jacob Thiessen. Here's the wind and pitch. Swung on and foul back one with a fastball up in the zone. It remains at 1-2. 1-2 to Thiessen. Yeah, both of these pitchers have been in control. This is the real baseball I've been waiting for all season. Unfortunately, the Bee Diggers are on the short end. The pitch. Breaking ball called strike 3 on the inside corner, and that is strikeout number 7 for Kyle Rosenbrock, and there's 2 down. Here's Anthony Jimenez. He struck out swinging in his first at bat. And that pitch is foul tipped into the glove of the catcher Cloverdance. It's no balls and 1 strike. Rosenbrock ready. Wind and pitch. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball in the dirt. It's 0-2. This is the top of the hour, straight up at 5 o'clock. You're listening to Brush Bee Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR, Brush, Fort Morgan, and KSIR.com as Rosenbrock gets ready to deliver the 0-2 pitch. That is just outside with a fastball. He barely missed, and Rosenbrock has been so good today. That's one of the few calls he didn't get, but he did miss. 1-2 with the bases empty to Anthony Jimenez. Wind and offering. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball. 1-2-3 again for Kyle Rosenbrock. He has struck out 8 in the game, all since the second inning. Let's head to the 5th inning in Sterling in a quick moving game. It is Sterling 2, Brush nothing on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. All right, let's head to the 5th inning. And the Bee Diggers trail 2-0. Kyle Rosenbrock has kept them in the game. Here's Baby Matos Garcia. He swings and fouls it straight back. It's 0-1. Baby singled to begin the game, then grounded out. Jacob Thiessen, the right-hander, has thrown 62 pitches, 45 for strikes. The pitch. And that's right there down the middle with that sidearm fastball. It's 0-2. When buying a mixer or feeder truck, compare the MMI design, craftsmanship, and service. MMI International. They outperform their competitors hands down. 842-5161. And let the State Farm Insurance Office of Greg Mullen and Brush help you find the best policy to fit your life. Home, auto, life, and health. State Farm Insurance. 842-4555. That's Greg Mullen. 0-2. Swung on and grounded to the shortstop Wheeler. He struggled. He fields. He throws to first low. And in time. Excellent play by Wheeler in the hole. And there is one down. He's committed 3 errors in the game, but that one was a solid play made by the shortstop. That'll bring up Zane Fowl, who was singled and popped out. The foul in the game is 1 for 2. Again, we'll get you to the Rockies and Brewers right after this one. 1 ball and no strikes. 2 foul. Here in the top half of the 5th inning. We played an hour before in many games, and we're only in the 2nd, but this time we are in the 5th because this is a solid pitching matchup. 1-0. Swing and a miss. Thiessen threw the fastball right by the B-Digger right fielder. The count is level at 1 ball and 1 strike. And Brush has had some good swings on Thiessen. He's just been a little bit too tough so far. Breaking balls in the dirt. Moves the count to 2-1. 2 balls and 1 strike to Zane Fowl. And the pitch. Fastball is up and in. 3-1. B-Diggers have had base runners in virtually every inning. And the 3-1 offering. Fastball is a strike on the outside corner. Nice job of spotting that baseball. It's 3-2. Only 3 strikeouts for Thiessen thus far, as opposed to 8 for Rosenbrock. 3-2 the offering. Fastball is inside, and he walks his second hitter of the game as Foul reaches here for Alec Peterson. Peterson is 0 for 2, popped out and struck out looking.
Alex is the batter. Foul on deck. Mikey in the hole.
So Peterson steps in with 1 on and 1 out. Short lead for Foul at first. Great job today by our sound engineer and producer, Michaela Klimper. Put up with some of my stuff here. Swung on and line down the left field line for a base hit. Rounding second is Foul. Hold up right there. It's Brush's 4th hit. And the B-Diggers now are in business with Rosenbrock at the plate on that hanging breaking ball. So 1st and 2nd. And here is Rosenbrock. And we'll have a visit to the hill. Yeah, the question is, can the be that this is the first visit of the game? Of course, the former Akron star, Aaron Lambertson, is the head coach of the Sterling Tigers. Done a fine job. Got this program going in the right direction. Without a doubt. So the conversation breaks up. And the B-Diggers looking to get on the board for the first time in the game.
Piles of batter. Mikey on deck. Nico in the hole.
And they got one of their better hitters up here. Rosenbrock did reach on an error in his last at bat. And that ball gets away from the catcher Cloberdance towards the screen on the breaking ball. Foul to 3rd and Peterson to 2nd. And now the tying run is at 2nd base. All of a sudden the Brush crowd off to the right can feel this swinging around. Rosenbrock did pop up to right field in his first at bat. 1 ball and no strikes, and the infield is playing in. And now they're going to walk Rosenbrock intentionally. And in baseball, in high school, you just let eye on. So it's really only 72 pitches, even though it'll say 75. Mikey Gutierrez has popped the left and struck out. Now they're playing at double play depth. And the pitch, fastball, is a strike on the inside half. It's 0-1. So Mikey G being called upon to deliver for the B-Diggers in a clutch moment. The senior third baseman is down in the count. And he waved at that breaking ball in the dirt. That pitch was not even close. And that moves the count to 0-2. Yeah, that's exactly why Sterling did this. No balls and 2 strikes. Wind by Thiessen and the pitch. Fastball is low. Gutierrez is a great athlete. He's got a great eye up there. He did strike out at a pitch above the letters. It was a 3-2 pitch. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Foul at third. Peterson at second. Rosenbrock for 2-0 Sterling in the top half of the 5th inning. And the offering. Swing and a miss and a slow breaking ball. Gutierrez strikes out. Strikeout number 4 for Jacob Thiessen. And there's 2 down. And now Nico Guzman is going to be asked to deliver here. He popped out twice to right and to the catcher. Thiessen ready. Wind and pitch. Fastball is a strike on the outside corner. And it's 0-1. That pitch was really tough to make contact with, considering it was a fastball tailing away. Thiessen might get out of this unscathed. 0-1. And the offering. Curveball, and he waved at it and missed. It would have been a strike anyway. This is the sign of a great pitcher. Gets into trouble and now working his way out of it. 1 strike away. 0-2 to Nico Guzman. Wind and pitch. Swung on and tapped foul behind the plate as Nico stays alive. Foul walked. Peterson singled. Rosenbrock was intentionally walked. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Sterling with a 2-0 advantage in the 5th inning. Thiessen gets the sign. Wind and pitch. Fastball is upstairs. You have to believe that might be a setup for the breaking ball. It is 1-2. And the offering in the dirt with a breaking ball. 2-2. So he did throw him that pitch, but Thiessen missed location. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The bases are full of B-diggers in the 5th inning. In Sterling. Wind and pitch. Swung on. Tap foul. Oh, off the catcher's foot. That hurt Cloberdance. And he's writhing in pain to the left of the plate. That one hit the toe. Sounded like. He'll try to walk that off. And he's waving off. Yeah, waving off any help. He wants to gut that out. Well, catchers are... they're the toughest players. No doubt about it. So it stays at 2-2 to Nico. And he's had a good at-bat here. He's extended the at-bat as much as possible. Now can he somehow reach against this very solid right-hander in Jacob Thiessen? Cloberdance positions himself behind the plate. Foul off of third. Peterson at second. Rosenbrock at first. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Cloberdance lays down the sign. And the pitch in the dirt. 3-2. Now a base hit in the outfield will score 2 because the runners will all be going. 3-2 to Nico Guzman. Got to expect a fastball, you'd think. Runners go. Swung on and grounded to short. The play's going to have to be to first. Whistler throws high. Wheeler got him in time, though. Off the bag a little bit, but the tag was applied over there by Cloberdance. And the B-Diggers do not score in the 5th inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and the bases are left of B-Diggers. It's Sterling 2, Brush nothing as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. All right. We're heading to the bottom of the 5th inning. And the B-Diggers trail 2-0 to the Sterling Tigers. Sterling scored their runs in the 1st inning on a 2-run single by Jacob Thiessen. And Kyle Rosenbrock has been outstanding in this game. Alex Jimenez, Austin Burkholder, and Braden Cloberdance will bat for Sterling in the bottom of the 5th inning. What more can you ask of Rosenbrock? The 1st inning, it wasn't even a bad inning. He just gave up the 2 runs. Just one of these deals where Sterling was able to get on the board. Rosenbrock has struck out 8, allowed just 3 hits and walked none. Unfortunately, that damage was all in the 1st inning. Here's Alex Jimenez. He grounded to second. His first time up. Rosenbrock ready. Wind and pitch. Fastball is right there on the outer half at the knees. It's 0-1. I forgot what it was like to go into the fifth inning with only 2 runs being scored in a baseball game. And the offering. Fastball is off the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike. 1 ball, 1 strike to Alex Jimenez. The pitch in the dirt with a fastball. Rosenbrock has thrown only 63 pitches. Thiessen is over the 80 pitch mark. The Bee Diggers made him work a little bit more. 2 balls and 1 strike. Here's the wind and pitch. Swung on and fouled back. Went with a fastball in the inner half at the knees. And the count levels at 2-2. These are 2 teams that are headed for the playoffs, no doubt about it. Quality pitching, especially from these right-handers. Breaking ball swung on and missed, and Rosenbrock registers his 9th strikeout of the game. And there's 1 down in the bottom of the 5th inning. He struck out, I believe, every Tiger except 1. Austin Burkholder struck out his first time up. He steps in from the right side. And this is an all right-handed hitting lineup for Sterling. Hitting with an open stance is Burkholder. Wind and pitch. Swing and a miss, and a breaking ball that was diving down and away. And the count is at 0-1. Yeah, Rosenbrock cannot pitch any better than we've seen today. This is playoff stuff. And the offering. That fastball is a strike just at the knees, and it's 0-2. And these pitchers are working quickly. No balls and 2 strikes. To Austin Burkholder. Here's the wind and pitch. Swung on. That ball is laced high and deep down the left field line, and that's trouble. The ball is headed for the corner. Simmons chasing it down. Burkholder's around first. He's into second. And just missing location there was Rosenbrock as Burkholder has a 1-out double. That'll bring up Braden Cloberdance, who struck out swinging his first time up. That's really the big only mistake that Rosenbrock's made today, an 0-2 pitch that he allowed Burkholder to take a good swing at. And the offering. And the breaking ball is low and away. 1 ball and no strikes. So Sterling threatening to extend this 2-0 lead in the bottom of the 5th inning on their home field. The stretch by Rosenbrock. Looking back at second, the offering, and he bounces it in. Blocked beautifully by Petey. Count moves to 2-0. This is the number 8 hitter in the lineup with Ryan Boyer on deck. Looking back, and the pitch. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball. Way out in front was Cloberdance. It's 2-1. And that time, Rosenbrock pitched backwards with that one. Normally with a 2-0, you groove in a fastball, but didn't want to give in. And the 2-1 offering, here it is. Swung on, lifted foul, out of play off to the right. Count moves to 2-2. Now, in his first start against Valley, Rosenbrock struggled to find a strike zone, then pitched well in his 1 inning of work against Strasburg. By the way, I know there's a makeup date for that game already. It is 2-2. And no, there's a throw to second, back in. And we'll pass that along before the end of this broadcast. 2 balls, 2 strikes with 1 down and 1 on to Braden Cloberdance at the bottom of the 5th inning. Sterling leads 2-0. And now Cloberdance calls time. Yeah, this is not one of these games that your starters are going to get 4 or 5 at bats. Very limited today. Rosenbrock stretches, looks back, and the pitch. Swung on and tapped on the right side, and it stays fair. Rosenbrock picks it up, throws to first low. Hirschfeld digs it out. And recording the out is Rosenbrock getting quickly off the mound. 2 down. And moving to third on the play is Burkholder. And that'll bring up Ryan Boyer, who struck out looking in his first at bat. He's the 9th hitter in this lineup. Out of the windup is Rosenbrock. Here's the wind and pitch. Swing and foul tipped into the glove of the catcher, Alec Peterson. And the count is sitting at 0-1. Rosenbrock delivers. Swing and a miss. He threw the fastball right by Boyer. Count is now at 0-2. Rosenbrock looks in. Wind and offering. Fastball is up and away. One ball and 2 strikes. Rosenbrock has 9 strikeouts in the game. Wind. And the 1-2. Up and in. A breaking ball that didn't break. Count is at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The B-Digger right-hander delivers. Swung on and popped foul out of play off to the right. One with a curveball again. And the count remains at 2-2 to the 9th place hitter, Ryan Boyer, the Sterling left fielder. The B-Diggers are down to their final 6 outs, regardless of what Sterling does here. They'll either be down 2-0 or perhaps 3-0, but Rosenbrock has been so good. Should be able to get Boyer here in this situation. The 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss and a fastball up and in, and it's 2 strikeouts in the inning for Rosenbrock. And 10 in the game. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. And a man left. Let's head to the 6th inning in Sterling. It's Sterling 2, Brush nothing on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Anthony Jimenez is the new pitcher here for Sterling. And Jacob Thiessen goes to first. By the way, the B-Diggers and Strasburg Indians will be making up or resuming their game on Friday. So we'll note that. Friday at 4 o'clock. We're already scheduled to have the Rockies on there, so we'll see exactly what we do with the rescheduling of that of the B-Digger game. That was a 5-0 game, so just a point that 4 o'clock on Friday will be Brush and Strasburg, the game that was snowed out after an inning and a half. They'll resume it at that point. And we'll tell you about what we do with the programming, because we are planning to have the Rockies and Cubs coming up on Friday. So stay tuned tomorrow for 10-10 preps and more for an update on that. And the fastball is a strike from Jimenez to Grayson Simmons. Check that. That's Brandon Walter. Simmons will bat 3rd in the inning. Walter, Hirschfeld, and Simmons breaking balls in the dirt. 1 ball and 1 strike. Thiessen now at first base. B-Diggers trail 2-0 here in the 6th inning in Sterling. Stop, shop, and save at the Brush Grocery Cart on West Edison Street in Brush. You can also pay your public service bill. That's it. The Brush Grocery Cart. 1 ball, 1 strike, no outs. Top of the 6th inning. Sterling with a 2-0 lead on Jacob Thiessen's 2-run single at the bottom of the 1st inning. And it's 7, 8, and 9 for the B-Diggers in the top of the 6th. And the offering. Fastball is low. Walter ahead in the count at 2-1. 2-1 to the B-Digger DH. And the pitch. Swung on and grounded up the middle. Wheeler to his left. Dives behind the bag. Shortstop fires to first. In time by a step. And Walters retired for the first out of the 6th inning. It's an excellent defensive play by the shortstop, who struggled today, but has made 3 good plays in a row. B.J. Hirschfeld has singled and reached on an error.
BJ's the batter. Grayson on deck. Ronaldo in the hole.
And Sterling has stranded only 1 runner in the game. The B-Digger left 9 on base. That's the difference so far. Wide in the offering. Swung on in line towards right field. That's going to be a base hit for B.J. Hirschfeld. The B-Diggers pick up their 5th hit of the game. Hirschfeld with his 2nd. And now the tying run is at the plate for Grayson Simmons, who has struck out and grounded out. He's 0 for 2. And the G-Man leads the team with 16 RBIs, but the B-Diggers have none in this game. This high-powered offense was held in check by Jacob Thiessen despite stranding those 9 base runners over the first 5 innings. The stretch and pitch. The slow breaking ball is down and away. It's 1-0. Yeah, don't know if that was the plan to have Thiessen throw just 5 innings, but he is now at first base. 1 ball, no strikes. Jimenez delivers. Swung on, grounded foul down the first base side. And that levels the count at 1-1. On deck is baby Matos Garcia. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. The stretch and the offering. Curveball is a strike. Moves the count to 1-2. That was right down the middle, thigh high. Jimenez looks back, looks in the pitch. Breaking ball is up and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes, with 1 down and 1 on. We're in the 6th inning in Sterling, and the Tigers lead the B-Diggers 2-0. Short lead at first for Hirschfeld, maybe about a step and a half. Jimenez delivers. Fastball is outside. 3-2. Yeah, this umpire's been very consistent. I mean, you know what's a strike and what is not. And I think the Sterling bench wanted that, but it was clearly off the plate. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Jimenez. And now time is called by Simmons, trying to throw the pitcher off his rhythm. Again, we'll have the Rockies and Brewers coming up right after this. Opening pitch at 6:10 from Milwaukee. Stretch by Jimenez. And the 3-2. Low, took something off it. And Simmons walks, the 3rd walk issued by Sterling pitching. That'll bring up Matos Garcia, who is singled and grounded out twice. In the game, he is sitting at 1 for 3. So a big at bat for Matos Garcia. The stretch by Jimenez. And the pitch. Swung on, driven into deep left field. However, to his left, and making the catch is Boyer. Man, he was positioned perfectly as that ball was laced by Matos Garcia. There's 2 down. Well, that is excellent positioning there by Boyer. He only moved about a step to his left as Matos Garcia got all of that baseball. And the ball died into the glove of Boyer. 2 down for Fowl, who singled, popped out, and walked. The pitch. And he swings and taps it off his foot. Foul, and he's still on the ground. No balls and 1 strike. Fowl's going to take a while to get up. That one certainly did smart him. Yeah, that might have either got him at the top of the foot. Looks like right on top, and those sting for a while. It's a little bit cold today, but the sun is out. So it's colder in the stands than it is out in the field, where the shadows have overtaken the spectators. So no balls and 1 strike to Zane Fowl. 2 on, 2 down in the top of the 6th inning. A 2-run single by Jacob Thiessen has held up since the 1st.
Come on, Anthony.
Here is the stretch by Jimenez. Pitch to Fowl. And the breaking ball hit him on the left hip. And now the bases are loaded for Alec Peterson, who is 1 for 3 in the game. Peterson popped out, struck out looking, and singled. And keep in mind, the B-Diggers have stranded 9 runners over the first 5 innings. They have yet to deliver a run, but have a huge shot here with Petey. He could change the game with 1 swing. The stretch. And the pitch. And he swings and grounds it left side in the hole. Wheeler dives, stops it. He'll have a throw, but it's going to be way late. It's an RBI single for Peterson. And the Bee Diggers are finally on the board, as scoring from third was B.J. Hirschfeld. It is now 2-1 Sterling. But he definitely saved another run. And now Kyle Rosenbrock will hit. He's 0 for 2. He was issued an intentional walk. The stretch. And the offering. In the dirt and blocked there by Cloberdance.
Come on, Anthony.
The count is sitting at 1 ball and no strikes. Now stepping off is Anthony Jimenez. The Bee Diggers looking for the equalizer and more. 1 ball, no strikes. Trailing 2-1 in the top of the 6th inning, and that pitch is inside it, nearly clipped Rosenbach. He's almost thinking that maybe he should have gotten hit by the pitch, and the game would be tied. But that's not the way he plays baseball. Wants to swing away. 2 balls and no strikes. And the offering. Swing and a miss.
Yeah, boy.
Late on the fastball. It is 2-1. The tying run is 90 feet away. The go-ahead run is at second base. And you've got a senior at the plate in Rosenbrock. Anthony Jimenez stretches. And the offering. And that is low with a fastball. It's 3-1. Well, now Rosenbrock's got to take a pitch that he really likes at this point. 3 balls, 1 strike. If it's not in the strike zone, he'll take it for a walk. The stretch, 3-1. Swing and a miss, and a ball diving in the zone took something off it. Rosenbrock was well out in front. Now the runners will be taking off. Simmons at third, foul at second, Peterson at first. A run across for the Bee Diggers. And the 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Rosenbrock strikes out. And Anthony Jimenez is able to work out of the jam. Oh, the Bee Diggers could have come up with a multiple run inning, but they score a run on 2 hits, no errors, 3 men left. Brush has stranded 12 in the game. Let's head to the bottom of the 6th. It is Sterling 2, Brush 1 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Tigers lead 2-1 as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. And now batting for Sterling will be Dusty Kahn, the 1, 2, and 3 hitters for the Tigers, against Kyle Rosenbrock, who has been incredible today with 10 strikeouts. Had a chance to tie the game or give Brush the lead. Struck out with the bases loaded. Dusty Kahn steps in, the winded pitch, and he bounces it in there. Now Sterling looking for some insurance here. 0 for 2, grounded out and struck out. Rosenbrock looking for the complete game. It could be in a loss, though, and he throws the fastball down and away. I got to start wondering how much the strikeout of Rosenbrock will affect him on the hill. He's already thrown 2 balls to this hitter, but he feels comfortable on this mound. 2-0 pitch, and that fastball is high. Rosenbrock is yet to walk a hitter. He was behind 1 hitter earlier in the game, 3-0. And the offering, that's a fastball down the middle for a strike, belt high. 3 balls and 1 strike to Kahn. In the bottom half of the 6th inning, Sterling with a 2-1 lead on their home field. The pitch low with a fastball, and Kahn walks to begin the 6th inning. Here's Ethan Rose. He's doubled and struck out swinging. Well, you'd have to think that Rose is going to bunt. Right, I mean, they haven't generated much offense. Yeah, you'd think a bunt would be the logical play here. Rosenbrock looks in, the stretch. And the pitch square to bunt, and he lays it down out in front of the plate. Rosenbrock picks it up, throws to first as he looks to second for the out. Sacrifice is successful. So Ethan Rose did his job. And that will bring up Matthew Wheeler, who singled and grounded out. Oh, they can get that run back right now with a base hit. Rosenbrock delivers in the dirt with a breaking ball blocked by Peterson. 1 ball and no strikes. We'll pick up Rockies on deck in progress right after this game. And then first pitch at 6:10 from Milwaukee. The stretch. Rosenbrock with a 1-0. Swung on in line towards left field. Simmons to his right has got a plate on 2 hops. It's a base hit. Then he bobbles the ball out there. And it's an RBI. As scoring on the play is Dusty Kahn. It's an RBI single for Matthew Wheeler. And Sterling has gotten the run back. They now lead 3-1 in the bottom of the 6th inning. There's Jacob Thiessen, who singled and struck out looking. And Sterling has regained the momentum. Rosenbrock looks in, the stretch. And the pitch. Fastball is right there for a strike on the outer half, just above the knees. It is 0-1. Thiessen officially is 1 for 2 in the game. Off for first is Wheeler. Rosenbrock stretches, squaring the butt. He's probably bluffing, and he is. Breaking ball swung on and fouled to the screen. And the count is at 0-2. When you're shopping for new appliance, shop the best appliance store in Fort Morgan, B&B Appliance. With a full and complete line of Whirlpool appliances, B&B Appliance in downtown Fort Morgan. No balls and 2 strikes. And Thiessen calls time. The stretch. And the offering a pitch out. Throw will not be made to first, as the runner was a little bit off, but not far enough for Peterson to try to get Wheeler. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Jacob Thiessen. Sterling has reclaimed the 2-run advantage. It was 2-0 for a while. Alec Peterson came through with an infield single, scoring a run, but back came Wheeler. And the pitch swung on, fouled straight back. One with a fastball down in the zone. And the count remains at 0-2 to Jacob Thiessen. Check that, 1-2. 2-step lead at first. The stretch. And now the runner takes off. Rosenbrock steps off, throws to second, the tag, and Wheeler is out at second base. On the caught stealing, as Rosenbrock did the right thing and stepped off the back of the rubber so as not to commit a balk. And Wheeler eliminated at second base. On the pickoff as Matos Garcia applies the tag. Now it's 1-2 to Thiessen. Here's the wind and pitch. Swung on in line! For a base hit. That nearly took the glove off of Rosenbrock. Wow, Rosenbrock lucky he didn't get hurt. That thing was hit extremely hard. And that's why that pickoff now looms even larger. Anthony Jimenez has struck out twice. He will now bat for Sterling. Thiessen with his second hit of the game. Sterling and Brush both have 6 hits in the game. The big difference is Sterling has stranded just 1 in the game. And the B-Diggers have stranded 12 runners. They have wasted so many opportunities. The stretch by Rosenbrock. And the pitch. And the breaking ball is going to be a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. Missed the corner. On the inside portion, the stretch. Jimenez awaits the pitch, and he takes a fastball up and in. Rosenbrock has thrown 94 pitches in the game. You know that if the Bee Diggers can take the lead in the 7th, this might be his last inning anyway. 2 balls and no strikes. And the offering. Upstairs again with a fastball, 3-0. So this is easily Rosenbrock's worst inning in terms of his control. 3-0 to a hitter that he struck out twice in the game. And the pitch, that's right there for a strike on the inner half. Three and one with Alex Jimenez on deck. Short lead at first for Thiessen. And the 3-1. Fastball's a strike. He dropped the bat, but he's got to come back. That pitch was clearly over the strike zone, in the strike zone over the plate. 3-2 to Anthony Jimenez. Thiessen will be taking off with the pitch with 2 down. The stretch by Rosenbrock. And the offering. And the breaking ball called strike 3 on the inside corner. And the Tigers are done here in the 6th inning. However, they get a valuable run on a Matthew Wheeler RBI single. They pick up 2 hits, no errors, and a man left. We head to the 7th inning. It is Sterling 3, Brush 1 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. With a 3-1 deficit to overcome as we head to the 7th inning, and Dusty Kahn will now be on the mound for Sterling. Ethan Rose moves from right to center. Let's check out who the right fielder is for Sterling. Don't know who's out there. Very hard to spot that number. Well, the Bee Diggers will have the 5, 6, and 7 hitters, Mikey Gutierrez, Nico Guzman, and Brandon Walter against Dusty Kahn.
We'll bring up Mikey, Nico, and Brandon.
As we head to the 7th inning, Sterling with a 3-1 lead after getting a big RBI single from Matthew Wheeler. No, Gutierrez awaits the pitch from Kahn. Swung on and grounded right to the third baseman. Didn't know he had the ball. The throw to first is in time. Took a nice tough hop on Burkholder, but he made the play. And Mikey Gutierrez is now 0 for 4 in the game. Wasn't sure he had the ball on that short hop. Nico Guzman has popped out twice and grounded out. He's 0 for 3. Dusty Kahn, the right-hander, delivers. Fastball is up and in. 1 ball and no strikes. The Bee Diggers will play on Thursday in Brush against Sterling, 4 o'clock on 10-10. Then they'll resume that Strasburg game on Friday at 4. The pitch swung on and lifted into shallow left field. Should be an easy play for Boyer. He makes the catch. Austin Boyer, make it Ryan Boyer, puts it away. And there's 2 down.
Let's go, Dusty.
And Brandon Walter has Brush's last chance here in the 7th inning. Kahn has retired 2 batters on just 3 pitches. Here's the wind and offering, and the fastball is low. One ball and no strikes. Wind and pitch. Fastball up and away. 2-0 to Walter. Walter has walked, reached on an error, and grounded out. He's 0 for 2 in the game. And the offering in the dirt. And B.J. Hirschfeld has 2 of Brush's hits. He's on deck if Walter can reach. 3 balls and no strikes.
Hey, come on, Dusty.
3-0 to Walter. And the offering takes a fastball And it's a ball. Boy, that looked like it was at the knees. The Bee Diggers catch a break there. That clearly looked like a strike. B.J. Hirschfeld is 2 for 3. And he will now bat. Yeah, the Sterling crowd didn't like it. I was surprised that was called a ball.
All right, let's go, Dusty. Show.
Hirschfeld singled in his first and third at-bats. Reached on an error his second time of has been on base all 3 times. The stretch. And the offering. Fastball is upstairs.
Hey, all right, let's go, one.
That's 5 consecutive balls thrown by Dusty Kahn.
Come on, Dusty.
1 ball, no strikes, 2 down. Sterling in the lead, 3-1 in the 7th inning. Short lead at first for Walter. And the 1-0. Swung on and popped up. That should do it into shallow right field. And the catch is made out there. That's the right fielder came into the game. And the Sterling Tigers have defeated the Brush Bee Diggers this afternoon in Sterling by a final score of 3-1. The Bee Diggers with no runs, no hits, no errors, and a man left. And in this game, the Bee Diggers stranded 13 base runners, 13 in the game. All right, let's take a 1-minute break. We're back in 1 minute. We'll come back with a recap on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Sterling Tigers game over the Brush Bee Diggers 3-1 in Sterling. Bee Digger post-game show brought to you by Mr. D's Ace Farm and Home Center in Sterling, Brush, and Fort Morgan. For your farm and ranch headquarters, for all your farm and ranch supplies, they carry feed for all your animals and pets. Mr. D's Ace Farm and Home Center. As the Sterling Tigers put together a nice performance today and beat the Brush Bee Diggers by a score of 3-1. For Sterling, 3 runs on 6 hits, 3 errors, and 2 men left. The Bee Diggers 1 run on 6 hits, no errors, and 13 men left on base. The winning pitcher was Jacob Thiessen, going 5 solid innings. Anthony Jimenez came in, and then Dusty Kahn closed the game. And the loss went to Kyle Rosenbrock despite striking out 11 Sterling Tigers. Time of the game, 1 hour and 49 minutes. An hour 49 as Sterling improves to 5-2 in Patriot League play, 7-2 overall. The Bee Diggers drop to 4-2 in league play and 6-2 on the season. Jacob Thiessen, the starting pitcher for Sterling, got the scoring started. He had a 2-run single in the first inning, and it stayed that way until the top of the 6th when the Bee Diggers played at 1. An infield single from Alec Peterson, but then Matthew Wheeler came through for Sterling in the bottom of the 6th inning, and that was it. As the Tigers win the game by a count of 3-1, the Bee Diggers are back in action. Coming up on Thursday, they'll take on Sterling and Brush, 4 o'clock start time on 1010 as well as KSIR.com. Outstanding job by our sound engineer and producer, Michaela Klimper. The final score today, Sterling 3, Brush 1. I'm John Beltran. We'll have the Rockies coming up. We'll pick up Rockies on deck at the top right after the break, actually. We'll pick it up, and then the first pitch at 6:10, Rockies and Brewers. You've been listening to Brush Bee Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com.